What's up, guys? As you guys know from my last video, or at least one of my last videos, the cars are ready for storage. I just took the Corvette actually and filled it up with gas. Today I want to talk about what I do to get our cars ready for storage, and these are just methods that I've used and I've had good success with them. I've had a high rate of success so far keeping our cars in good condition over the winter and not having any issues. They are stored in the garage, which is heated, but it's not heated at all times. It usually stays right around 50 degrees, so mice do come in here. I just want to give you guys an idea of what I do to keep the cars ready for spring and to keep the mice out of them. So, not directly related to the cars, but the first thing I will do in the garage and my storage unit, to get some of these glue traps, or you can get normal mouse traps, put some cheese on them, something like that. Mice like to eat up wiring. And wiring's expensive, especially like in the Trans Am and Corvette. It's really expensive. Talk about the Rambler. You're looking, might not even be expensive. It's more of a, can you find the wiring, or are you just going to do it all over by hand again? So I like to avoid mice as well as I can before they even get to the car. So glue traps or mouse traps tend to do a good job of that. So let's take a look at the cars and see what our next steps are. So we have the Corvette here. If you look down on underneath the wheels, I have carpet there, carpet in the back. Same with the Trans Am, carpet all around. I just cut out squares, parked it on there. What that's going to do is help the tires from dry rotting. So I'll do that, and then I'll pump up the tires. Usually I pump them up a good bit over stock PSI recommendations, just so they don't develop flat spots. So since I have that done, take a look inside the car. So going in, you'll see I cleaned it fully. Just make sure you get any dirt or anything on the floor mats that might cause an issue with smell or moisture, something like that. So I took care of that. So no smell or moisture. Again, one thing I like to do to keep that moisture out, oh, you got a leaf in there. Pull that guy out. Moisture packs. I put that in each and every single one of my cars when storing them. It just keeps the moisture out. So that's in the Trans Am, the Rambler, everything. So the interior is all ready to go. You can pull this car out in spring and just drive it as it is if you'd like, or you can clean it up. I'm sure it'll acquire a little dust, but that's that. One other thing you can do in the interior is if you have an older car, our cars kind of have a newer car smell because they're both low miles. This one's 31,000 miles. That one's 10,500. So they both have a good smell, so we don't do this, but you can put bounce sheets, just dryer sheets in there. They'll help with the smell and they'll keep the mice out. Both cars are pretty well sealed up, so we don't have to worry about mice, but it would help with the smell. I do that in the Rambler a lot just because it helps out. But speaking of mice, if we just take a look in here and we look at all the wiring harness, the harness all the way in here, goes all the way back up in here, and then the main harness goes back over into the firewall over there with the battery and the fuse box. That would just be a giant pain to replace. So what I like to do is I'll take these dryer sheets, and they're cheap enough. I'll just put them everywhere by wiring. An alternator. It doesn't really matter where it's at. If you're just bringing a car in from getting gas, like I did, it's still a little warm in spots. I don't know how flammable these are, so I'm going to pull them away for now. But just be cautious of that. But I will put them everywhere where there is wiring, and anywhere that wiring is exposed, even down like in the headlight motors. You guys have seen in my videos, those kind of suck to replace. Just toss some of those in there. So now we have the car mostly taken care of. It's parked on carpet squares. The interior is clean. There's moisture packing in there, so there's no mold or anything like that growing in there. Underneath, the engine bay is all set to go. You don't have to worry about wiring with mice, anything like that. So now we just have the exterior. First I start with stable for storage. Just claims it keeps fuel fresh for 24 months. Never really had an issue here in Wisconsin. Our cars sit for like 6 months. I've never had an issue with them sitting like that. So no real concerns there. It's more so stable has a tendency to keep the moisture out of the tank. These cars both have plastic tanks. The Rambler has a metal or steel fuel tank, so corrosion is a problem there. But they all have steel fuel lines at one point or another, fuel rails, stuff like that. So that's something to be aware of. I will put stable in there, and I use stable. I think it has a little thing that tells you how much to use for every gallon on the back. So this is 1 ounce, treats up to 2.5 gallons. So they have the ounces up here on the neck, so you can go by that. Just these cars have like 15-gallon tanks. I think they're somewhere around there, so you can measure that out. So that's what we do for that. The very last thing that I like to do is I will do a quick detail on the cars. You want to make sure you have no bugs on them. Bugs like to eat through the clear coat, especially if you let them sit for like 6 months. So I will clean off all the bugs. So it's not real obvious on this car because it's fairly clean, but there's like little bug specks here and there. I haven't buffed out this bumper yet, as you can tell. It needs a good paint correction, but here and there, a couple rock chips, nothing you can do about that. But those bug guts will have a tendency to eat through your clear coat. So make sure you get those off. If you do that and you're scrubbing real hard, you shouldn't really ever scrub real hard. You should let the solution that you're working with kind of take care of the guts, and then you wipe away or spray away with water. But you know, if you think you're taking that layer of wax off, feel free to put it back on there. It's extra protection. Main thing really is you don't want anything in between the cover and your paint, because over time it will scratch. So yeah, I think that's that. That's my main things for taking care of the cars during storage. I've had really good luck with it so far. No adverse effects or anything like that. What do you guys do? I'm curious what you guys do to keep your cars mint during storage. Keep them clean, keep them smelling good, keep them looking good, all that. So let me know what you guys do. I'll put a list of what I use in the description. Oh, one last thing I forgot. I always put a trickle charger on my cars. I know it's a problem with the F-bodies. Look down here at the trickle charger I have. I think I showed you guys this last year. I just have a speed charge. I think I got it from, oh, where did I get it? I think I got it from Farm Fleet, like Black Friday for like 15 bucks or something. But F-bodies are infamous for their ECUs going bad if you don't have a fully charged battery on them. So one more thing to be aware of, I suppose. So keep a trickle charger on it. If you store your batteries outside of the car, don't store them on the cement. The cement will suck the life out of them. Just something to be aware of. So that's what I do, guys. I hope these tips help you guys. I know I did a video like this last year, but I think I built on it a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, I guess while I'm thinking of it, just make sure you have a quality car cover. You look at the Trans Am one over there. It's form-fitted, but still loose at the same time. So hope this video helps you guys. Hope you guys have safe storage seasons for your cars, and I'll see you guys in the next video.